Hey everybody, and welcome to another LEGO review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ninjago set called Zane's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Race Car. This is set number 71791, and it comes with 307 pieces and is recommended for ages 7 and up. And we're going to start off this review by taking a look at the minifigures that are included in this set, starting with Zane. And like with all the other ninjas I've gotten from the LEGO Ninjago theme, I do like the overall look and design of this figure as well. The white design of the figure does complement the light blue printing found on the chest and legs. And I also like the gray minifigure hands, as I feel like it further complements the color palette of the figure, as well as matching the character's face, which we're going to be taking a look at in just a moment. And as we start to make our way around to the back of Zane here, you can see that he does come with a hood and back piece, as well as a pretty detailed back print, but we're going to be taking a look at that once we remove the accessories. And while I do find this ring piece on the back of the ninja to be a little awkward looking, it does have a pretty cool feature. And that is you can place 2 gold katanas on the back of the figure. Removing that piece, we can get a full look at the back print of the character, which I do find to be pretty well detailed and I like overall. Removing the hood of Zane, we can get a good look at his face print, which I do like the design of as well. And he does come with a second facial expression that depicts him wearing a mask. And here's one final look at Zane, and I do feel like this is a pretty solid looking figure overall. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at another ninja. This is Cole. And for the most part, the design of this figure is relatively the same when compared to Zane. There is a couple of differences in the printing of the figure, and Cole is in a black and orange color palette. And I personally like the white and light blue design of Zane a little bit more than the colors we get on Cole here. I personally would have liked to have seen a little bit more orange printing found throughout the figure, just to break up the darker colors a little bit. But as we make our way around to the back of Cole, you can see that he does come with the exact same hood and back piece that Zane did. And if you look closely behind that piece, you can also see there's a back print. And here's a good look at it after we remove his back piece. And I think it fits the design of the character well as a whole. Cole does come with 2 different facial expressions, the first of which is him without the mask, and the second one has him with a more stern look with his mask on. And here's one final look at Cole, and I feel like this is a pretty solid figure. The third figure we're going to be taking a look at is the Imperium Claw Hunter. And this figure has some really nice printed detail on the chest and legs. I also like the design of the armor that the character wears. And as we start to make our way around to the side of the figure here, you can see that he does come with some black minifigure arms, which I think does a good job breaking up the color consistency of the figure and matching the little bits of black printing found on the legs and the chest. You can also see that there's some rigid detail found on the helmet and shoulder pads of this figure. And as we start to make our way around to the back of the figure, you can see that he has a back print. And if you look closely at the bottom of the head of the figure, you can also see a little bit of printed detail there as well. Removing the armor will give us a good look at this printed detail, and I think it looks great overall. The Imperium Claw Hunter also comes with a sword as an accessory, and I like its overall aesthetic, and it fits the design of the figure well in my opinion. The next minifigure we're going to be taking a look at is the Imperium Guard Commander. And I do like the design of this figure, however, I'm not really the biggest fan of the helmet that the character wears. It makes it really hard to see the character's awesome face print, and to me it looks like a frying pan without a handle. This figure does come with some really nice printed detail on the chest, legs, and toes, however. And I also like the color of the minifigure's arms, as it matches some of the printing found on the figure. And as we start to make our way around to the side here, you can see what I'm talking about as far as the helmet looking like a frying pan. But I do like the inclusion of the black shoulder pads. I think they add to the overall aesthetic of the figure well. And finally, as we make our way around to the back of the figure, you can also see that he comes with a back print and a little bit of printing on the back of the head too. Removing his armor will give us a better look at that printed detail, which again, I think looks really great. Here's a look at the character's face print, and I really like that glowing orange eye found in the middle there. And this figure also comes with a staff as an accessory. Also included in this set is this really simple but cute brick-built robot. And found at the bottom of him is this really tiny light gray sphere that allows for him to be easily spun on a tabletop. Also included in this set are these really tiny hover pads. They're built exactly the same and each come with a little sticker for detail. There is also some studs found on top of each one of these builds that allows for you to place minifigures onto them. On the bottom of these builds, there is also a transparent orange disc that allows for each one of the hover pads to be rotated around. With all that out of the way, we're ready to talk about Zane's race car, which I think has a really sharp and sleek looking design that also comes with a pretty cool color palette that matches perfectly with Zane. We're going to start by taking a look at the front of the vehicle, which has a really nice sticker here for detail. There are also 2 transparent blue pieces here meant to represent ice, which is Zane's element, as well as some gold katanas clipped to the front just to give it a little bit of a tougher and mean look. Taking a look at the vehicle from the side here, you can see that there is another sticker for detail, and there's a good variety of mixture with blue and white pieces, again to kind of match the color of Zane and give it that icy effect. There are also these 2 marble-like pieces found on each side of the vehicle meant to represent dragon cores. Taking a look at the back of the car, you can see that there is some rather neat detail. I like the transparent red pieces meant to represent the taillights, and there's also some rotation for the spoiler of the car, which also has some stickers as well. Here's a look at the vehicle from a top-down perspective, which gives us a little bit of a better look at the spoiler detail as well as that sticker found in the middle of the car. Here's what Zane looks like when he's sitting inside of the vehicle, and while he does fit nicely, you can't have the gold katanas attached to his back. Here's another look at Zane while he's sitting inside of the car, and I like the detail of making the steering wheel a gaming controller. When you have the car on a tabletop, the marble pieces do allow it to spin, which is a rather fun play feature for kids, and if you push down the spoiler, it allows the wheels to lift up and get them out of the way. This set originally retailed for $35, which I do feel like is a relatively fair price for what you're getting here, but I wouldn't want to pay any more than that for this build. Thank you so much for watching my review, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more LEGO reviews in the future.